how to plant a fruit tree in your front yard. So you can see here I'm digging a very big hole, and I'm going to tell you why I'm digging such a big hole in my front yard to plant a fruit tree. Welcome to Self-Sufficient Urban Gardening.
Tá bom? Tá bom?
Tá bom, cara. So as you can see here, I dug a very deep hole and it's not even ready yet. So as I'm digging here, you can see how hard this clay is. It's really hard clay and it's really compacted here in my front yard because it's been like this for many years. So I dug a big hole and you can see here all the dirt that I removed, and I'm still gonna remove some more. And the reason is, the roots of young trees, they have trouble going through such hard soil. So what you need to do is soften up the soil, and you can do that by, first of all, removing it and mixing it with some other stuff like compost or wood chips or some other materials that will, even sand, to soften up the soil. And then when you put it back here, obviously it's not gonna be as compacted as it is here because my front yard has been like this for many years. The reason why I dig such a big hole, as you can see here, is really more than twice the width. The rule of thumb is just as deep, twice the width. But in my case here, what I have is clay. And this clay is really hard. I tested this hole here by throwing some water and waiting to see if it would drain. And even after several hours, it didn't really drain well. The reason is this clay here has been compacted over the years because it's my front yard, my lawn, and the clay is just very compact and the water is not going to drain very well. So by digging a much bigger hole here, I give the trees some space for at least the first few years. The roots can grow into the better soil that I'm going to put in here. Now you can see the walls here are very hard, and the reason why you want to keep your tree with a nice soil around, at least for the first few years, is because the tree is young and the roots are not very strong. So if the roots hit this wall here of clay, hard clay, they're just gonna hit and turn around and keep circling around. So you want the roots to be strong enough after a couple of years so that they can penetrate these walls. Now what you want to do is to roughen up these sides, because as you dig here with a shovel and you keep digging so the hole is nice and round, these will really look like walls to the roots. So they might be, even after a few years, hit these walls and think, okay, this is a concrete wall, let me go around. Now, roughing up these walls with a pickaxe will help the trees understand that's really just soil. You might want to dig a few holes on the side so it doesn't look very wall-like, meaning it's not nice and smooth. It should be rough. So by digging a few holes here, it will even help with the water, because as the water goes through the nice soil that you put here with better drainage, it will hit these holes and will kind of penetrate a little bit and give the tree a little bit of room to go into nice and wet clay, which is of course not as hard as dry clay. Now, the last thing you want to do, and this is something that I didn't see anyone talking about on the internet, nobody giving this tip, is at the bottom here where your wall of clay hits the ground. If you make it nice and round like this, again, the roots are going to understand that it's too hard and they're going to turn around. But if you dig a hole in there, making it like a V inside, then this hole here will also help with the water to penetrate, make it like a nice smooth and wet clay so that the roots may go through that hole and keep going down.
A quick pause. Did you know that only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed? So if you like my videos, subscribe! It's free and you'll be helping me quit my job and follow my dream of gardening full time.
Look at these nice big holes here. There. And you can see look at that. Big hole there, big hole here, big hole there. So all around this circle here, I have these holes where at the corner of the hole, right there, and there, all around, the roots will hit that part, and hopefully the water will be there because the soil will be nice and well drained so that the water can go all the way there. And then when the water hits that place, then it's moist, so the roots know that when they hit that bottom, they can't really turn up because it's kind of a corner there, so they keep trying to push through. Besides all the holes that I dug right at the bottom so that the roots can go in through that, look how roughened up the sides of the walls are. And the reason is, again, in each of these holes that I'm digging here on the wall, the roots can go through, the water can get trapped and moisten, soften up the clay a bit, and this will give the roots a better chance of, when they're strong enough, of course, going through and creating a much stronger root system. So all the soil that I dug out here, you can see here it's clay, but here I have mixed this nice soil here called Harvest Supreme. So it has chicken manure, it has lots of things, and it also helps break out the clay soil. So here you can see how nice and loose it is, even though I have half clay and half of that. So now we're gonna put the tree in and then fill it with the soil. We put the tree here, and now we're putting some of the mixed clay with the nice soil around it, a little bit of the clay too, so we can mix it. We put some potting mix, as you can see here, to give it more nutrients and stuff. And then I also put some fertilizer, very sparingly, and you can tap it down a little, so take out the air pockets. Continue to fill it in and water it. So now you can see here what I did. I have about here, I filled with the clay soil with the potting mix and the other Supreme Harvest that I have mixed up. So most of the parts that are closer to the plant are mixed. In the outer layer here, because I have a very wide hole, if I mixed all the potting mix, I would need a lot of it. So what I did was, inside near the plant, I put the mixed soil. In the outer layer here, I put the clay back. And the reason why I did this, as you can tell, that this clay here is now very crumbly, and although it's still moist and I'm gonna water it, it's not as hard and compact as the regular one was here before. So now the tree has some time to explore the nice soil with nutrients, and then it hits the clay, which is not as compact, and then later on, a few years when it's stronger, it hits the compacted and hard clay, so the roots will be harder and stronger and they will be able to penetrate.
Abo?
And voila, a few rocks will make it look nice. Now let's just feed it with some fertilizer and wait for it to grow. After you put your tree in with the mix of the clay soil that was native here and the other soil that you added, you just cover it with some wood chips so that you hold the moisture in. And now the last tip here is that when you're looking for watering and the watering schedule for your new tree, a lot of people would say you need to water it every week or every 10 days. But with clay soil, you should water it a little less, just because clay soil holds moisture a lot better than other types of soil. So I do water it for young trees like this once every 2 weeks, and especially in the summer. Now in the winter, you can water it even once every 3 weeks when they're young like this. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel and enjoy your garden.